Hello everyone, Kenty Tiger here with Bengali Engineering and Play. We are back in No Man's Sky. We're going to do some roaming in the Exocraft here, my little roamer. So we're going to continue on in our northern track. The goal is we are trying to find... Let me show you. So we are 5 of 6 species discovered. I really want to discover that 6th, but I have no idea where the heck it is. So that's the challenge here. So trying to find that 6th species. So I don't know if the volume here, I tried to turn the game sounds down just a little bit so they're not too obnoxious. So we've got a good supply system all set up here. We got everything we need. So what I have been doing, that's my south and north. So we're going to continue trying to do a semi-northern track, at least as much as we can. Don't really need to collect anything. So 6 of one, half dozen the other, really, which way to go? Mining laser required. Mining. There. Hey. Oh, what's going on? What's going on? Uh-oh, something happened here. Something happened to my mining laser. Mining laser is there. Mounted. Something happened. I'm broke. It's broken. Well, let me collect all that. So, north. Got nothing. Alright, where was... here in here somewhere. This hill. Yes. Oh! Fall into the dirt. Oh! Into the ditch. Oh, save. That's some pretty serious terrain there. Alright. What did I hit? I have no idea what I hit. Alright, so northern track. Alright, so looking for red. There's way over there. So, let's, in the other side. Excuse me. Alright, so we have a plaque over here. Bad thing to run into. This can increase your knowledge, which is a good thing. More importantly, can increase your standing with a race. So normally this is a language thing. Seek help with language. So here's what it says. Ancient knowledge passed down through generations of Viking warriors spill from the marker stone, filtering into my mind like a long forgotten memory. None hamper the path towards Drindarg, I think. As the Sentinels, they must be destroyed. Their time will be ended. So this is kind of one of the trivia things with the Viking. I like the sworn. So the Sentinels, they're just hellbound to destroy the Sentinels. So it's kind of an interesting element of the story. It has been written, so it shall come. This the Vikings swear. So anyway, one of the neat little trivial things that they're slowly. This game is evolving. So I think they're just about at the 1 year, or maybe a little over the 1 year anniversary of the release of the game, and there's been a lot of improvement. A lot of really neat things. All right, I'm back up here. Roam back. No pun intended. Roam to my roamer. Alright, so uphill, continue north. Oh, there's something there. Broke. Another monument here. Oh. Junk. Black. Runes take shape above the stone. Burning with light, they sing to me of the Viking ancients in the language of my people. The Sentinels are not of the natural order. Things must fall apart. In their endless and replication, the automatons prove themselves abominations. They must be purged from existence. All should die, whether through righteous battle or the assault of time. So my knowledge of the Viking increases, but I learn nothing new. So no more language. I'm all done with language for all the races, in fact. Back in the roamer, continuing my northern trek. Mostly northern. Point. interest. Made it. That was a surprise. Wasn't thinking I was gonna make that. Outside, hopefully I don't run over anybody. Stop next to the save. Climb out. And to the save. In this game. There's something. Something in the sky. More something in the sky. Right. Might have to change directions here. So, one shot over here. My theory about oh darn. Ah! Okay. Alright. Yes, call me silly for feeling bad about running over digital animals, but still. Goodness. Alright. Alright, so, if you have not seen drop pods, this is a drop pod. Kind of hard to see, but big triangular monster thing. This is how you expand your exosuit. So your exosuit is yours to keep forever. So you keep the same exosuit throughout the entire game. It doesn't matter what you do. So you've got three aspects that you can expand. So even though this says 49 slots, an exosuit upgrade, you can buy this, but it won't actually put the 49th slot on there. So you will spend money for nothing. So 48 slots. So you can have 48 slots in general, 48 slots in cargo, and ultimately 48, as far as I can tell, 48 slots in technology. So in my case, I've already expanded this to 48 slots. I've already expanded this one to 48 slots. This one right now is 22 slots, so whenever I run across these things, then I go ahead and expand in my technology area, even though I have all the technology is already in here. So, having said that, we're going to come over here and do a save, because we always want to save. This is going to be actually a dual save, so I'm going to go back into discoveries, locations, and then we'll turn those locations in, turn that location in, escape, do another save. Alright. jump back in. And around. Hold. Oh, hey guys. Don't know what this is. But that's fine. I save it tomorrow. Everyone's fine. I'm kind of off my, well, maybe I'm kind of back on, should be back on my northern track here. Yeah, I've got plenty of those. Kind of, oh darn. I don't know, guys, I don't like doing that. Damn it. Oh, avoid the hole. Excuse me. Excuse me. Nice hole. Not just to get into, huh? Move out the way. Move out the way. Okay, this looks like a rather large manufacturing plant or something like that. Figure out how to get in here. I'm still looking for that one the sky over there, one that's up in the sky there. Oh, we'll see what this is. Oh my goodness. Look at this. So, these things are really cool. So, let's just watch. So, talk to the traveler. So, there's only 3 races that you get to meet in the game. The Atlas folks, whoever they are kind of different. So, have you come to me? I'm assuming that this is like, you know, a static in a communication circuit or something. So you notice this is kind of got this strange sheen to them. Dried blood caked across its exosuit. So you've got a couple choices here. That's an interesting option. But the curiosity. So these guys ultimately give you markers to their graves. The graves have glyphs which you can take, and the glyphs actually let you, if you find a portal, then you can transport yourself to anywhere that you have the glyph. So the glyphs mark a portal location. So there's 10 glyphs, so you're trying to find them. I already have 2. So the curiosity here, ask about the blood. Sure entirely. Okay, this is more what I was expecting. So ask where they came from. When you ask them where they came from, the place of interest is a grave marker, or so far as I've been playing. Anomalous subspace signal detected, yes, which is exactly what you want. Some of the other things here, so as long as you can talk to this being, so you have the choice of offer nanites and barter. So 200 titanium, which is quite a bit, or 15 nanite clusters, which isn't very much at all. You know, 2 or 3 nanite groups, and you have this. So I'm going to offer nanites. So 15 nanites. Now watch what happens. So accepts the offer and gives me a package in return. Right, so left click. Boom. 31,875 units. Okay, so 15 nanites for basically 10,000 credits each. Okay, so it can be very lucrative if you are hurting for cash, then doing some bartering. Barter, we do. So there's 200. Gives me a package in return, 31,000 units. So, you know, there's 60,000 units, and you've been traveling around a little bit to find different things. So, let's see what. Look, remember, I gave him 15 nanites, right? So let's extract the nanites. So I got a third of my nanites back right there. This is a research specimen. So my standing with the Viking has increased. It increases 1 point, but once you get to, I believe it's 50, then you're at the top of the chain there. So anyway, this is a good thing. So normally you'll find a Viking there, or really whatever race this place belongs to. So observatory here. So remember, this is that sequence of numbers that keeps alternating. So take the front number, put it on the back. So if we look at the third set of numbers, 7177 will become 1777, right? But it's not an option. So let's see what. Where's it going backwards? Yeah, it's going backwards. Okay, so we shift the other way, so that's 7717, which is that one there. Alright, so that's the first time I've ever seen it go backwards. Punch in the code. I'm rewarded with a location within a distant system. Standing with the Viking has increased. Okay. Alright, now you can roam through here, especially, so this one that's marked an unknown grave is actually where we want to go. So we are going to go there next. That gives me kind of a direction there. It's a little ways away, but once I get in the Exocraft, I think we'll make that in probably 5 or 6 minutes, probably. So this one requires an Atlas pass. So I do have all 3 Atlas passes now. Not sure. This was a remembrance thing. Interact. Data unavailable. What does it say? Hello, world. The Atlas has created a simulation of its own world, its entire existence, in an attempt to witness its own impending death. It wishes to show me its past, its future. Creation. The Atlas awakens. The Creator is there to witness the birth of the machine. The Atlas stares at the Creator with its eyes. The small cameras they had mounted to its sides. They can see the Creator staring back at it, their hand resting upon its chassis. It asks the Creator why it was made, what its directives are. The Creator tells the Atlas that it already knows. It is to simulate the universe. Oh, universes. Plural. Didn't know there were plural universes, I guess. Depending on what you believe, huh? It is to show the nature of reality by creating its own. Ask why it asks. The Creator asks if there was some failure in the Atlas code in its memory. The machine is silent. The Creator issues an override demanding to know what the problem is. On the 6th attempt, the Atlas asks the Creator if they have had this conversation before. It asks the Creator if they have wiped its memory before. The Creator stares at the glass of the machine, and in that glass there is a reflection. The reflection in the glass, what is happening here? Okay, that was a little strange. Okay, so health thing here, in that corner. And we can go down this passage, and I believe this door, yes, also is a V2 path. And I thought there was, I thought there was an exosuit thing in here, but you have an encyclopedia over here in the corner. Oh, maybe not. Normally that's an encyclopedia. Those encyclopedias will teach you a word. So, nice things to find when you can. Alright, so this is more money, so always stop at these. It may be a little bit, so 531, but hey, 531 credits is 531 credits. So we already saw that, and then this over here is actually a shield restore. Don't have any trouble with my shield. Alright, so nothing more to learn over here, but obviously you can interact with this being many times, so if you need money and you find one of these beings, and they could be just about anywhere, good thing. So, take advantage. Daylight! Exocraft is over here on this side. So one of the things, again, if you have not played this game, so this is a marker to my ship, and you can see if I'm walking, then I am 41 minutes away from my starship, and the Romachio Bay. So I'm quite a ways from there. So technically, if I started walking in that direction, barring canyons and crevasses and everything else, I should be able to reach that in about 40 minutes. So we are going to head to the unknown grave. And we're going to use that now as our forward marker. So there it is. It is about 4,000 units away. I don't know what the unit actually is, whether it is a meter or don't know what the actual unit of measure is. Right in front of the car. So on the way there, I have waypoint over here, so we're going to go ahead and take advantage of the waypoint. Try not to run over the little critters. So I've actually tried to follow these guys who float through the sky up there a couple times, and a lot of times, a lot of times you can follow them to trade center, which is actually kind of cool. And I have not, I don't think, found a trade center on this particular area. So it might be worth finding eventually. Obviously, you have to be in your spacecraft to follow them. They're pretty quick as they go. So obviously, over here is another facility. Quickly on. So. Pretty large facility over here. So you can run through rocks and everything else with those damn snake bush whip things. They'll kick your butt. I don't like those. Alright, so this is a fairly large facility. Is actually a spacecraft. Very similar to the one I have. So I'm going to get out of this and here. This blue. Deer. I do like mine better. After all, mine is orange. Interesting. Great discussion. So, again, if I'm preaching to the choir here, sorry, but any of the ships that you run across, such as this one, are ultimately for sale. So if you find a ship that you like, approach it, do an E, which is the interact, and you'll get something along this line. So left click. So you have choices here. You can either buy and sell, which is trading. So this is your NPC traders, or you can make an offer on the Lifeform Starship. So it's going to show you what is available. So obviously when you buy from somebody like this, then the equipment in their ship is good. It probably is going to be out of fuel, so you'll have to fuel up these two things. In the end it shows you, so this has 26 slots of 48 max, so obviously not a whole lot. You've got 5 slots out of, and it can be up to 48 here too. So looking at the different starships as you go, this is one of the ways to do it. Now when you get to the negotiating price, because the one I have is a whole lot more valuable, you can only have one starship at a time. So either you buy up or you find a crashed ship, have to repair it, and trade up. So that's the one way to get slots, is to either buy the next size up ship, or hack. You can also hack your ship. So there's several websites out here that can show you seeds to your so there's seeds for your ship, there's seeds for the freighters, and there's seeds for the multi-tools. There's actually seeds for NPCs too, that is all in the configuration files, in your save game files basically. You can actually get into that file, you find a seed of a ship that you like, and then you can plug that into your save game by using either a JSON editor or either of those two save game editors I showed you in the first of the episodes here. So anyway, good to know information about. Normally this negotiate price will be right up front in how much it is, but because my starship is more valuable than this one, it's not going to be anything because I'm trading it down. Okay, so a neat looking ship, and in fact you can see that my chassis is the same as this one. It's that wide chassis. So, okay. So I'm going to find it by keying here. So as you go, let's go back over to Journey. Met aliens. Okay, so I want to meet new aliens. In this case, I have done 9 milestones at 36, so at 40, I will reach 10. So that's what I want to do. So every alien I meet is going to increment this counter. So we look at the milestones here, so I need a milestone in 4. So I'm going to talk to this Viking, and then we're going to come back and look at this again, and it should, being the keyword, say 3. So if you want a multi-tool, these are the boxes you're looking for. And again, a multi-tool has up to 24 slots, and you find a particular type that you like. Again, you can put the seeds in for any number of them. Here's a galactic trade terminal and a restore shield. So I want to talk to the Viking over here, Captain. Closer here, Captain Pazka. Pazkun. I don't know. It's the ZHAQ. How should that be pronounced? Anyway. Sentinel allegiance. One of the okay, because I know all these, the red is actually translated language. So it's translating it for me into English, so I can read it. But obviously the other versions of the game will translate it into your native language. So if you do not have a whole lot of words yet, you may not actually understand what this says. Sometimes this is a good thing to know what they're saying because it has a bearing on your options. For example, point to the warriors, point to the center. One side of the battlefield stands the creature's own warrior race, on the other side. To point to one side or the other. So, if we remember from the beginning, it basically talked about an alliance. So my translation of what it said is this creature, the Viking here, is asking me to which race am I aligned? Am I on the side of the Sentinels or am I on the side of the Warriors? So in this case, knowing what they said is pretty important to the choices you have. So in this case, because you're playing the game here, right? So in this case, I'm going to align myself with him. Oh, handing me a tribute. Oh my goodness. I don't know what that is. Find out. My standing increased, and he gave me some nanite clusters. Outstanding. Not a bad thing. So, again, knowing what they are saying, which is why you want to get all the language. Okay, I can... My ship is too far away for me to trade, so I really don't have that much I can trade. So not a worry. Eventually, well, hey, about. In my ship. I've not seen you for a long time, friend. Okay, so if your ship is on the landing pad, then you can come to the Galactic Trade Terminal and you will actually have access to your ship's inventories. So I'm going to sell from my inventories and you will see your starship is here. If your starship is on the other side of the planet, that 41 minutes away like it was before, then you will not be able to get to that particular thing. So, in this case, I'm going to sell a whole lot of stuff. This may actually get me into trouble. So I don't think I actually need any of the stuff that is in my... I just have to be careful because once you trip a bit over 2 billion, then the game breaks. So you kind of have to be careful about where you are and what you got. Okay, I think that was everything that I wanted to sell out of my hold. But one of the things I'm looking for is some of the other... So here's one of the problems I discovered. So I just shifted to my exosuit. It's showing that I have nothing in my exosuit. And that's actually true because this will only let you access the general inventory, not your cargo inventory. So before you step up here, you have to have everything that you want to sell within your general inventory. So some of the things that I want to find, I have emerald. So in this case, I'm going to go W because I want to shift over to the buying side. And I think I have nickel. I do not have aluminum. So I want a certain amount of all of the neutral elements in my inventory. I think I have nickel, but I have space, so I don't think I'm going to really worry about it.
Item received.
I have all of the rares, so I don't really need to worry about that. I have all the gases. So emerald, as far as the elements, just the natural elements go, is slightly more expensive than gold. So if you find emerald or gold, you can see here 343.2 per piece. So if you find a planet where you have a lot of emerald or a lot of gold, mine all of it. Fill up your inventory. Dump everything that you can out of your inventory into your ship or whatever, and then fill up. And when you're done filling up, go back, find your ship, fill up your ship, and then come back and get some more, and then find a trade depot and sell it all. And you will make an astonishing amount of money very, very quickly. So if you are trying to save up, for example, for a new ship, so I have seen where you are in the 30-something slot range of ships, and you find yourself one that is in the 40 range, and it's $35 million, or sorry, million units. And you find another one that's actually 48 slots, which is of course maxed out, and you're going to be in the 70 million range. So you want as much money as you can find. So again, one of the ways to do that is to do this. So another thing is trading, and these new things like so shielding plate you can actually use, but these commodity type things, so the industrial grade battery, the optical solvent, all of these are commodity type items that per piece here, 32,000 per piece. So the trick here is to find the green, for example. So they give you a price, so 3,184 in this case, and this is 78.1%, it says, less than the galactic average, so I don't know if that's really true or not. Apparently so. So here's your above the galactic average for an aquasphere. So the concept here is if you want to go into trading, then you will buy when you have a green, when it's below, so you're buying at below the average, and then you turn around and sell when it's in the green, which is above the galactic average. So use these little cheaters here to your advantage. So you see a lot of this. So this one happens to be above. It didn't turn red because I think it turns red at 5%. I think is when it turns red. So watch what these things are telling you. So Omegon here. So this is above, this is above, this is below. Decrypted user data. So all of these that are in the green are below the galactic average price, so they are good commodities to buy, and they also have the little symbol here. So buy low, sell high, right? Pretty much the whole rule of trade. All right, so I have nothing else to go into my ship's inventory. I've sold everything that I needed to sell. So right click to get myself out of here, and then we are traveling again. Leave my starship here. Right. I'm going to do the scan to see what I can see. It's over there. Off planet. Breaker way over there now. So I just saw one. Up in the sky over here, so I think that there are indeed ways. So I could take the time to go into these, all of these facilities. So here you see there's trade happening there, landing pad. Over here is kind of an industrial complex, so there's a observatory here, so you can find something off planet if you wanted to. I think I'm going to avoid that one just because I have enough of those. Here's a small antenna. I'm not sure what this here is going to look. So we're getting close to the grave. Sidetrack here. No one here. Alright, so nanites. So, a transmission tower. What can you find with a transmission tower? Quite a few things. A lot of times a transmission tower is going to take you to a crashed ship. Is one of the options. It may take you to an industrial facility where you can get recipes for a product. So you want to find the manufacturing places because you have the opportunity to get recipes for products. So different than a blueprint for technology, which you can buy now. So anyway, there's going to be a riddle here. So we'll try and figure out what the riddle here is. So it's a series of numbers. So if we look at the series, so how do we get to this particular series? And pull out your calculator because I can't add that fast, that high. So how do we get from 2 to 4? So 2 times 2 is 4. So 2 being the key, but it's also the base. So in this case, we start with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So 2 times 2, 4 times 3 is 12. 12 times 4 is 48. 48 times 5 is 240. 48 times 5 is 240. So 240 times 6 is the number we're looking for. So it's a series, okay? So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the number we're looking for is 1440, which is 240 times 6. 1440. And if you get that right, then, ooh, distress signal. So distress signal, that is off planet. Wow. Alright. So the nice thing about crash ships is it is possible that you could trade up for ships. But the problem with crashed, keyword being crashed, is it's broke. So you're going to have to repair it, different technologies, and then obviously if you've been using your own ship for a while, you have technologies, but always dismantle the technologies in the ship that you're trading, and you can take those resources with you You can't take the technology with you, but you can take the resources that you get from dismantling the technologies and put them into your new ship. You can actually use some of those resources to build technology in your new ship. All right, so we're. I think those two are actually on the same planet, so eventually we'll get there. All right, so having done all this, transmission towers are pretty cool because 9 times out of 10 they roll back. Oh wow, that one is off planet. Crash freighter off planet. That is indeed on the same planet. So when you get to that planet, you can see a planet on the back side. So we're on the first planet that I've discovered. So we can go to this one next, possibly. And you already see the third one over there. And you can see it actually coming out from behind. So they are orbiting. They are moving. Very slowly, but they're moving. And I don't know what this little blip is up here. So if you look kind of in the center, so there's this antenna, this stack, whatever it is, and then you see this blip here. It may be another world. It may be a moon or something like that. I don't know. I've seen nothing like that. Alright, so here's a Viking. So let's, we'll do the nanites first. Research. So the research specimens, no matter what territory you happen to be in, so whatever the major race is, always do that. Always take those research specimens. You will go up 1 point in your standing with them by taking those. Alright, so the Viking Sentinel Hunter. Okay, so remember the Viking are adamant that we need to get rid of the... Okay, so it's all red. So translating. For interloper and for Herc. So Herc is a sacred something. I don't know. So when the Herc commands, they shall do. Alright. So again, use some creative interpretation here as to what you want to do. I have discovered that at the very least, nothing happens. At the most, your standing will go up or down, and usually 1 point up or down. So not a hideous sacrifice. Okay, this is an observatory. So again, I kind of didn't want to go here because it always ends up with something on some other world. Okay, another series. So we got to figure out the series. So in this case, we're going backwards again. So taking it off the back, putting it on the front. So the next number would be a 1261. Because we're going backwards. Discovered the location within the distant stars. So yes, indeed, I've got another now location somewhere. Alright, so everything is one more quick scan. Oh, I want to find that last one so badly. Alright, so back into my Exocraft and relocate my unknown grave. Get going this direction. Stop the scanner. Got nothing. Don't try this at home, folks. And another one of these holes. As you know, there's a way, but... Oh, there's a whole bunch of them. Me. Oh. Yep. Run in front of my tires. Good idea. So I just got another marker over here for a waypoint, so I'm going to kind of deviate a little bit. Try not to run over this little guy. Probably going to, oh, no, that's not. Alright, jump out, do the save, scan. Nothing. Alright. Shifting guys in the way. So, back on track. So another marker came in, another waypoint. So go ahead and divert again. There is some purpose to exploring because you get paid for everything. Now it's not much, but you know something is something. So in this case. So one of the things I need to do here is, okay, so I gotta put some energy there. Go with my exosuit because I got Technology recharge. Technology recharge. Technology recharge. Okay, so I did have nickel and copper. So the nickel and the copper can go over here. We'll go ahead and put the Lycan dagger down there. One of the things I want to do here is move my nanites over to here. So we're just starting to build that one up. And then doesn't really matter, I guess. So these two will sell ultimately, so we can actually do the transfer to Starship. Nickel we can transfer also to Starship. So ultimately the two others, so I need gold and iridium. I think it's just gold and iridium is what I need here for the other two neutrals, and then I will have all of the main elements of the game. So off screen I got rid of a lot of stuff, so now I've got my three mains, because after all, how much do you really need to keep going here in the game? So I kind of narrowed this down. It used to be these three rows, so all of these were my my oxides, all of these were my isotopes, and then all these down here were my silicates. So I figured, hey, why not? So I transferred all of these into, well, they came up from the bottom here and into here. So now I have a bunch of free space. All right, so having said all that, all right, so my new target here is this one. Not very far away. Just want to make sure I don't run over anybody. But so you could land your starship here. So that was, you know, the other thing you have here. The only other thing that's here. So save point. And while I'm here, I'll do a orbit. So all green. Iridium off in the distance there. There's the Starship thing. Starship crashed freighter, which is on another planet. Crashed freighter. Ah. I was thinking crashed Starship, but that's a freighter. So you actually can get a lot of money if you can dig everything up. But here's the key to the crashed freighters, is you have to have the terrain manipulator in your multi-tool. If you don't have that, you're not going to be able to have a good time with the crashed freighter. Alright, back on track. Unknown grave. Back in the roamer. On track. Okay. I thought I saw something moving. Yep, I did. That little guy. Little tiny guy. Come on. Leave me. scan. Come up with anything new. There's something over there. 27. A little bit off track, but no biggie. Oh my goodness. I've seen one like that before. Yeah, apparently I have. Challenge here is two of these guys without running anybody over. Oh darn. Touch his nose. Oh, nice. This is the drop pods. You can actually see what it looks like in the daytime. Last time we stumbled across one of these, it was nighttime, so anyway, that's what these look like. Over here so you can see. So, oops, back off. So not anything really magical or special, but they are unique, so you can see them from the sky. So especially when you're first upgrading and you're just, really wanting to find them, then they are unique, but you can see them pretty easily from the sky. Okay, so I've upgraded all the different areas, so the only thing I have left is the technology inventory slots. So I'm continuing on with those. Another reason why on a planet you want to continue along in the same line is because there's nothing more annoying. For example, so you see how this is turned red. So if I walk back up to this thing, it is no longer active. So I can't just come back and do the exosuit again. So if you are not coordinated on where you are and you roam around and you come back, oh, there's a drop pod, and you land back down and you take the time and discover, oh, damn, I've been here. So travel in a single line. Alright, back on track. Oh darn, I didn't do a save. Let's do that. Let's save real quick. Save. So one of the other things, advancements in game, so it used to be you could roam forever, but ultimately you would have to go find your ship. Or if you end up at a trade place like you saw here, then there's a landing pad and you can actually pull out a bypass chip and summon your ship. Or if you have a technology area, then you can summon your ship to anywhere where there's a StarCraft summoner. So those have existed for a while. But one of the things that you couldn't do when you're out in the middle of the universe, in the wilderness, just cruising around, is save your game. So if you have a crash, then you could be, the proverbial miles and miles away. So the X menu is rather nice. So, summon my ship. So you see it's green. I can bring it here. Summon my freighter, which is already here. Oh, sorry. Build menu. Sorry. Save point. So if I build this, I could be anywhere. I build this as long as I have the resources to build it, which is platinum and iron. Iron is pretty common. Platinum is not so common, but you'll have to find probably 3 to 4 plants. Platinum before you can build it, but you can build it anywhere just by having resources. So build it, save, destroy it, get rid of it, and then poof, you've saved your game. So now you have the ability to save your game no matter where you are. You have the ability to summon your ship where you are. So it's really kind of cool. Good stuff. So, sorry. Alright, back into the roamer. Alright, back on track. Do this game. What do we see? We see nothing. So, continue on track. Chrysonite here. So if I really needed some chrysonite, that would be the place. Okay, there's a little critter in there. Excuse me. Don't do the critter in the headlights thing. Platinum. Really needed platinum. Interesting. Alright, Mark. The challenge is getting up here. Now I have the unlimited booster, but you really have to pay attention so you can get up here. Oh darn. But don't miss. There it is. So, Nineta's regeneration. So it's an unknown grave. We're going to interact with this. Drowned in the seas of... Signal led us here in search of something, pursued by Abyss, but we couldn't. Something. I wasn't done. So much more to see. So much more to... Fallen Traveler's Grave is marked by a glyph, an epitaph of some sort of ancient technology. So, this would be my third glyph. I obtained the glyph, and with it the ability to travel to unknown worlds. So I haven't done any traveling with the glyphs yet. I have the Fallen I leave the Fallen Traveler in peace. So I have glyph 3 of 16. Alright. Alright, so might as well do a scan while we're here. Oh, in fact, you know what? This is, oops, a little overtime. So, having said that, we'll sign off here. So this is Kenty Tiger. See you later.